How you all doing tonight? Just checking in. I had to check in. I was watching uh, Fox News and I had to check in. What up, Jay Z? What's popping, kid? So hope everybody's having a great weekend. The clocks went back. We're getting ready for. We're getting ready for the. God bless you, Jay Z. We're getting ready for the. Unfortunately, we're getting ready for the winter, right? This is the time of year, Frankie Russo. I'm like, forget it, you know. I'm thinking about getting one of those what do you call it? Those heated blankets. I was thinking about doing that. What's up, Jay Z? Hey, so let's start with the sports. The Yankees just signed Chapman, like we predicted. We did say that the Yankees were considered. What up, Mel? Oh man, they took my Twitter account, but they gave it back to me. So for 3 months, 4 months, I was out of my Twitter account, so I couldn't scope. So no habla inglés. Do you know English good? My español, Juan, is pretty good. Para español en escuela, en universidad. Escribe good. Conversación, so-so. Gotta talk slow. Truth be told, my Espanol is better than my Italian because I took Latin in high school, ancient Latin. Well, that's a good question, right? Stream. Doing good. I'm working on my science, my physics. I'm an amateur scientist, and I'm trying to up the game. Working on my linear algebra. I'm getting involved. My linear algebra, my calculus, differential equations, ordinary differential equations, partial differential equations. I'm working on my math. And so next semester, I'm working with some professors. So we'll see, because I love science, I love vectors, I want to get into quantum mechanics. So we'll see. I'm an amateur, so that's the truth. Hey Barbara, how are you? So as Frankie was, let's talk. So the Yankees, Chapman, they signed Chapman, right? And we talked about this. They haven't picked their pitching coach yet. So I was glad, Booney had a great season. We had 30 plus injuries. Booney had a great season. Rothschild, he called the shots. He called the pitching sequences. This is the second time it happened. You know what I noticed? Because I was looking at my YouTube live. Somebody's coming in here with a more Amiga. From where? From Facebook? Oh, okay. My Amiga friend. Mi amor. She says mi amor. Very good. He's a very good broadcaster, Jay-Z. Absolutely. Dan is a very good broadcaster. I tip my cap to him. Very good. Very good. Very good. So the Yankees. So we talked about this, with the pitching, right? We believe pitchers are like boxers, Sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, sometimes they got to get up off the floor, right? Sometimes the hitters, these are major league hitters, they beat them to the spot. So it's up to the pitcher to get up off the ground. He just gave up a dinger, like Domingo Germán did against the Dodgers. Domingo Germán gave up a dinger in the first inning against the Dodgers in the regular season, off of a high fastball. I think that guy Peterson. The next guy up, he threw the same pitch again. That's what I'm talking about. That's pitching, right? You got to keep, because you got to believe in your stuff. And what happens is you can't pigeonhole pitching. It's a feel and it's individual. And there's reasons why the pitching talent, these pitchers make the major leagues. There's reasons why, right? Chapman's got 100 in his pocket, and he's getting pitching sequences of his secondary stuff. Now he ain't no Rich Hill. Last time I checked, truth be told, right? And it happened to Tampa Bay too this year. We're winning 4-2. I talked about it last show. Winning 4-2, and he gave up a 3-run bomb to Darno. I guess he thought it was Johnny Bench. He threw him a 3-2 breakable. He put in the seats. This is ridiculous, right? So we signed Chapman, tremendous pitcher, great pitcher, but you got that 100. You're facing Altuve and Springer. You got to give him the glare in. I thought he was going to get the glare in, right? The Nationals, unbelievable. I can't believe what the Nationals did. Unbelievable. And what else? Oh, what else? So we got the Giants. Oh wow, very cool. ABC. I got an ABC Kabad today. And what up? You're blind. Okay. God bless you for checking in with Frankie Russo. God bless you. So, right. So we talked about. I just gave you a little Yankee take. So I think the Yankees are going to go for pitching. I think we're going to sign Cole this year. It's in my gut. The Yankees are going to go for it. Encarnacion is out. I think Clint Frazier is going to be the starting left fielder. Clint Frazier, starting left fielder. Miguel Andujar is coming back. They're going to keep him. He'll probably first base because he can't play third base with Urshela. Maybe relieve Urshela sometimes at third base, first base, and outfield. Miguel Andujar. Same type of hitter. Hit to all fields. So I don't know what's going to happen at first base because, Voigt's nice. Voigt's a nice ball player. Mike Ford is a nice ball player. He's got to compete. Catcher, I heard Romei's a free agent. DD's a free agent, and I hope we sign Betances. I don't know. I favor DD. DD's been with us, but we'll see. So that's my take with that. My Yankees. So we're going to keep a look at the hot stove, and then we got the football thing. So the Giants are hanging in. I'm not too crazy about the coaches. The coaches on the Jets, I don't know what's going on. And Schumer, the coach of the Giants, the cat man. Yes, you're right there, bro. You're right there. Is that? I don't know your name. Are you a dude or a chick? By the way, I got an app. It's a beta. It's in beta stage. I'm working with developers. I'm getting ready to roll out the update. So it's on my. You can just go into my Twitter account at Frankie Russo 1 on Twitter. It's pinned. It's a pinned tweet. You click on the tweet. It's free right now, and we got the model. We're working on the business model. And hey Jackie, how are you? Thank you for the visit. So you go in. It's free. If you can't see this live show, if you can't come into the YouTube Live and Scope Live, then you go to my app and you'll see it on the YouTube. So it's got it's got some of my blood. It's got my vectors there. Frankie Vectors is there. It's got stuff. It's a beginning. I'm rolling. I'm doing it in stages. So we're working on the second phase to this thing. So I got that. Just go to my at Frankie Russo 1 on Twitter. At Frankie Russo. I should do a share here. Shouldn't I? Right? Let's share this thing. What am I going to share it to? Let's try Twitter. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to share it to Twitter. I'm just going to send it. Yep. I just did. I shared it. What up, Robbie? I just shared it to Twitter. So, okay, Jackie. So that's the Giant thing. The Jets, I don't know what's going on with the Jets. We're playing the Giants. The Jets and Giants playing next week. And then we got the Knicks. I'm hoping right now they're not doing too well. Last time I checked, I haven't actually watched the full game. They got so many new players, but I think they have a nice nucleus. They got that kid Knox. They got that kid Mitchell Robinson, and they got that kid R.J. Barrett. They got a nice little nucleus that can get them to play. It'll be nice, So if Fizdale could get them to play defense, because not too many teams in the NBA play defense, I think we can make the playoffs in the East. In the East, like 7 or 8. But he's got to get them to play with a defensive intensity. I haven't seen it yet for the little I've watched. So we got that going on. And I'm a Seton Hall, alum. And, Seton Hall Pirates Hoops team is getting ready to roll out. And we got Miles Powell. I think he's a second team, preseason second team All-American, if I'm not mistaken. I think he is. I may be wrong because he's nice, man. He's got an attack handle. He's about 6'2", 6'3". He tried the draft, this past draft. He's got an attack handle with a range jump shot. He's got a jump shot with range. This kid is nice. And he could shoot off the dribble too. The kid is nice. All right. So we got that going on. So now the reason why I came out, I tell you, man. So we're gonna talk about now our great president, Donald John Trump. This is Frankie Russo. Russo disclaimer. Outside looking in. No U.S. congressional oversight committees, no international atomic energy agencies, no joint chiefs of staff, no National Security Council, no access to classified docs, nor do I know anyone who has access to classified docs. Court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles, and well-sourced, well-researched open source articles. Research refers a quasi-model, quote-unquote statistical significance, or likely no probability, look for trends, differences, and patterns in the data, and then we conceivably reach reasonable, responsible conclusions. And by the way, we believe our conclusions are close. Classified information is the mean. We're within the standard deviation of the mean. The Russo disclaimer. So this is where we're at, right? So I start off the show, right? I got all these vectors on my website. I got the vectors on my app. You got to go to @Frankie. Let me put it in let me blog it. @Frankie Russo. So it's let me do this. Frankie Russo, right? Frankie Russo. One. I got a pinned tweet. For the Frankie Russo app. For the Frankie Russo app. Check it out. Okay. So you go to my app, you see the vectors there. Right. So I start off every show with two vectors. This vector here, the Obama-Clinton crime family materially supported Libya, right? The Obama-Clinton crime family. This ties in the Al Qaeda in Libya. We believe that the Obama-Clinton crime family, Cameron from UK, and what's his name? Sarkozy from France, NATO, materially supported Ansar Sharia, who was whatever, Al Qaeda in Libya, whatever you want to call them, Al Qaeda in Libya, who was materially supported, which was a Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Hezbollah Quds Force terror cell inside of Benghazi. So the Obama-Clinton crime family materially supported them, and we believe the data was on the server, and that's why they destroyed it. Okay, that's one. So, but we're not going to talk about this tonight, right? And then the other one that I always, before I start my show and get as the new cycle changes, I see if anything pops, right? Is Lisa Page Monica Witt? Is Monica Witt Lisa Page? In other words, there's an 8-count indictment for Monica Witt being an Iranian spy inside the FBI. So did we have an Iranian spy inside the FBI, right? And this is the things that I'm on this, right? So with that being said, now I'm going to put that on hold. So I was watching Chris Wallace today, and I got really the way he was hitting Kellyanne Conway, President's General Counsel to great President Donald John Trump, and I was very I couldn't believe it, quite frankly, the way he was hitting her. Because first of all, here's my disclaimer: I'm a Fox News fan. Fox News is my favorite. Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham. I miss Bill O'Reilly, the greatest TV broadcaster on the planet. Bill O'Reilly. I mean, love Fox News, right? And some of the lefties that are on there, like Juan Williams, he's good to keep around. So we can hit him on the side of the head a little bit. I like when he gets whacked. They whack him around a little bit. But the truth be told, right? Fox News tries to be fair and honest and balanced, and I appreciate that. But Chris Wallace, who's basically the poster boy of Fox News right now, right? Him and Sean Hannity, right? And I was very disappointed in the way he hit Kellyanne Conway. Very disappointed. Right, Barbara? Very disappointed. So basically what he was saying was, he says, well, the president called up a foreign government to spy on a political opponent. That's basically was one of his thrusts that he's throwing out Kelly. So basically what Chris Wallace is doing is propping up the DNC, the stealth jihad radicalismist DNC, and the stealth jihad radicalismist mainstream intelligence, right? The straw man of these agencies, of these corrupt agencies inside the United States government. He's taking these arguments the rhinos, the Mitt Romneys of the crew, and propping up their straw man arguments, right? They're fake. President Trump, he's claiming, calls up Ukraine, for example, they're saying, and asks the Ukraine to spy on a political opponent. So here's question number one for Chris Wallace. Now, this is the reason why I believe Joe Biden isn't running. Joe Biden is not running to be president of the United States because, first of all, he's not going to be president. He's not going to be a nominee. So forget it. Right? I think it's going to be Bernie Sanders, but that's my opinion. Right? So he's running to get ahead of this because basically that's why he's running. Right? So, and he's running also so guys like Chris Wallace could say to Kellyanne Conway, right? President Trump is calling up the Ukraine, so he's asking a foreign government to spy on a political opponent. Now, if Joe Biden wasn't running for president, would Chris Wallace be able to make that argument? The answer is no, right? No. No. There it is, right? They prop up these straw man arguments, these fake arguments. President Trump is a political foe. So if Joe Biden, this is why Joe Biden's running, right? If Joe Biden wasn't running for president, Chris Wallace could not ask the question to Kellyanne Conway. Could not say those statements to Kellyanne Conway about President Trump calling up, because Joe Biden would not be a political foe, right? Truth be told. It's a fact, right? Second question, right? So he's asking these questions. He's really attacking. So Chris Wallace, who I happen to admire, I mean, his father was an amazing, I don't know everything his father was 60 Minutes guy. At the time, 60 Minutes was the ticket, right? His father's distinguished media career, Mike Wallace. Amazing. 60 Minutes, the whole thing. So he's got the lineage. So, he tries to come across like he's this, I'm the media guy. I'm fair and balanced. I'm a tough guy. I'm the tough guy for Fox. You interview me. I'm going to ask you the tough questions. But he don't, because he assumes he's stealthy about it. Because I believe he's stealthy with the rhinos, the rhino Republicans, the Mitt Romneys, and he holds up the DNC arguments all the time because they're fake. If they were fake, why prop them up? Right? Absolutely, Jay-Z. Why prop them up if they're fake? Because they are. Because the question he doesn't ask, what question? Absolutely, Jay-Z. He's a stealthy bias. He's stealthy bias. Stealthy. He does it in a stealthy way. He does it stealthy. What question should he be asking? Right? Okay. Remember this? It happened this week, I think it was, right? It was, October 29th, last week, right? Remember this? He died like a dog. A great president. God bless President Trump. I love President Trump, man. He's the best. He died like a dog, right? He got him, right? So she's there with Kellyanne Conway. She's got the ears of President Trump, right? Right? Talking to her is like talking to President Trump, right? That's President Trump's general counsel. Why doesn't he ask him the most important question, right? Well, what's that, Frankie Russo, right? President Trump whacked, basically, I mean, he didn't pull the trigger, but he was in the Situation Room. I love Trump too, Barbara. He was in the Situation Room and he whacked Baghdadi, right? Murderer, killing Americans, killing the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, truth be told, right? Involved in numerous terror attacks, some that we're aware of and some of that we're not aware of, and some that were thwarted by the CIA, right? Truth be told. The good side of the CIA. Right? So check it out now. With Kellyanne Conway there and Chris Wallace was sitting there, why doesn't he ask and keep asking this question? He should be asking this question because, right, they chirped about it a little bit, but they let it alone because it reveals a lot. President Trump was with the Pentagon Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Joint Chiefs, the Pentagon. Look at the generals, right? The Situation Room. They've organized and put together with our commander-in-chief to hit on Baghdadi, right? Then they got the number 2 cat too. So here's the question: why did Wallace ask Kellyanne Conway this question? Why didn't Donald John Trump, the president of the United States, tell Nancy Pelosi, tell Adam Schiff, who's the House Intel chairman? Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House. And the minority leader of the House, Chucky Schumer. Why didn't President Trump consult with one of them on the hit on Baghdadi? Why? Kellyanne Conway is going to say what President Trump said, because they would leak it. They would leak it. So what does that mean? If they're going to leak it, which they would have, they would tell ISIS that we're coming. So they're not working for us, right? So why isn't Chris Wallace hitting them? Why is he hitting the president? Why isn't he hitting Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, and Chucky Schumer? Because the president of the United States cannot tell one of those cats about this special ops on the hit on Baghdadi, because he's afraid that they're going to leak it. In other words, tell ISIS. So ISIS is either going to run and it won't happen, or two, they're going to ambush our men and women in the United States Armed Forces. Why aren't they asking those questions? That the president of the United States, the greatest president, one of the greatest presidents we ever had, he can't tell one of the leaders from the DNC that is special operations is coming out right now, afraid that they're going to tell ISIS, right? They don't care about this country. They don't care about the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. They just want to impeach our president. And that's their insurance policy, right? As Peter Strzok and Lisa Page talked about, insurance policy to stop our great president, Donald John Trump. But think about that. I'm not going to stop. Think about that. The president of the United States of America, Donald John Trump, can't consult with one leader outside the party, right? Can't consult with Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and nobody. The House Intel chair, none of them. That's why they chirped a little bit and they went away from it, because it's very revealing on who these people really are, right? Look at Congresswoman Omar. She's supporting Bernie Sanders as we speak. She's scared of Council of American Islamic Relations. And Congresswoman Tlaib, right? She's from Dearborn. They call it Molenbeek, right? And Congresswoman Omar is from the capital, the terrorist recruiting capital in America, Minneapolis, right? They call it the Little Mogadishu. Al-Shabaab from Somalia, right? Truth be told, the cases coming out of that area is off the hook, and she's defending them. So here, the president of the United States is whacking ISIS, and then they even question, absolutely his birth. They even question the fact that the president gave them and called him what he was and what he is. He died like a dog. He's a murderer. He's killed Americans up and down, indirectly, directly, right? Truth be told, he is what he is. And they were defending him. The Washington Post called him a religious scholar. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. So the question I ask Chris Wallace of Fox News, why haven't you pursued? It's crazy, right, JC? Why haven't you pursued what happened with Baghdadi? Why couldn't President Trump, he's sitting there with all the generals. Look at this. He's sitting there with all the generals. Why couldn't President Trump consult Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and Chucky Schumer? Why couldn't he pursue them? Why couldn't he at least talk to one about what's going on? Because he's afraid they would leak it. He's afraid that they would tell ISIS, right? But it's right. Leaking means you're telling the enemy, right? If they're going to leak something, they're telling the enemy, we got the special op forces getting ready to take out Baghdadi. So what's more important, the American people or trying to stop our duly elected president, Donald John Trump, for their own agendas, right? They love Baghdadi, apparently. President Trump couldn't tell them. He was afraid that they might tell Baghdadi, he might tell ISIS. It's like Obama standing up in his press conferences telling everybody on Tuesday, next Tuesday at 12 o'clock in Liberation Square in Benghazi, we're dropping some MOBs. So nobody's going to be there. And everybody looks, oh my God, Obama's dropping bombs on ISIS, on Al-Qaeda in Libya. He gave them arms, by the way. He gave them 20,000 manpads from the Soviet manpads from Gaddafi's arsenal when they couped Gaddafi. And they gave, oh yeah, Obama and Hillary Clinton gave them, oh yeah, here's a gift. 400 FIM-92s, U.S. Stingers, the Obama-Clinton crime family. So Obama's telling them, listen, everybody, listen, I'm dropping bombs next week, Tuesday, in Liberation Square in Benghazi. Don't be there. President Trump did the opposite. That's why they want to impeach him, right? He's actually telling everybody, things are not going to happen the way they want. We're not supporting the radical Islamists. We're not empowering radical Islamists here. No. Matter of fact, we're gonna whack them. We're gonna take them out. We're gonna drop MOBs on them. He did that in Syria when Assad was chemical weaponizing his people. President Trump was dropping MOBs on them, right? And he did it with Afghanistan too, down the Taliban. Right, Christian? They have none. Well, the Kurds are, my understanding, it's my understanding the Kurds are basically trying to start their own, absolutely, Barbara, trying to start their own government. And the Erdogan and the Khomeini, Iran and Iraq's Prime Minister Abadi have stopped them up in Iraq, and now they're trying to get something in Syria because we have our military bases are above Raqqa. That's where the Kurds are. So it's my understanding. I've never been there. I've never been to Syria. It's my understanding that they fight with us. The Kurds. The Kurds have fought with us in that region. So they're supposedly allies. It's my understanding, right? So the truth be told, right? The truth be told that we have a president that's acting America first, representing America, the interests of America, both home and abroad. And the DNC, the stealth radicalismists in the DNC, run by Keith Ellison and Congresswoman Tlaib, Congresswoman Omar, CARE. Basically, the DNC is CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations. They front as a Muslim civil rights group, but basically they represent the radical Islamists, quite frankly. Omar Ahmad, Nawid Awad, the Holy Land Foundation trial, they're unindicted co-conspirators. So, I mean, there's no, and there was a mosque conference in the 90s. They were there. The founders of CARE were there in the 90s in Philadelphia. I mean, this is no joke, right? But it's crazy to me. Chris Wallace is interviewing. Chris Wallace, Hezbollah is fronting. Hey, listen, you're entitled to your opinion. Chris Wallace is interviewing Kellyanne Conway, who's got the direct ears of our great president, Donald John Trump. And he's not asking her, why isn't Pelosi, Schiff, and Schumer involved in the Baghdadi hit? Why? Because that would open up a whole different conversation, right? Why aren't they involved? Why? One of them. Why weren't they cued in? Why? Think about that one. One of them is the House chair of the Intel Committee, Schiff. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a rat. But think about it, right? These are traitors. And these are traitors. And they're running they're running the House. They're traitors. President Trump can't include one of them in the special ops process, afraid that they're going to leak it. And by leaking it, they're telling ISIS what's going to happen. Could you imagine that? Maybe Pelosi would have ran to Syria and met with Baghdadi. I think they hit him in Syria. Maybe she would have met with Baghdadi and told her what was told her what was going on. President Trump was afraid that maybe Nancy, because she flew out there in Libya, Lebanon, and Syria. She met with Mohammed Jodaki. Absolutely, she met with Mohammed Jodaki and Khalil Harab. Made sure they were taken care of because they were the conduits that got the 8 to 10 million to the Al Qaeda in Libya that put the hit on the Benghazi mission. That the stealth jihad radicalism is DNC. And the stealth jihad radicalism in the rhinos, with Republicans by name only, like Mitt Romney, have been covering up for Iran, right? Mitt Romney, what was his name? Pierre Delecco? That Mitt Romney turned to be some rat. Oh my God. Him and Paul Ryan, two peas in a pot. I voted for Paul Ryan. I voted for Mitt Romney. Oh my God. Candy Crowley and Barack Hussein Obama, man, boy. They gave him a slap, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. If that was President Trump in that debate. That's right, Jay-Z. If that was President Trump in that debate with Candy Crowley for, I think it was CNN, Paul Ryan, right. And Barack Hussein Obama turns to Candy Crowley about Benghazi and when and whatever. And he goes, and she takes his, what do you think Trump would have did? Oh my God, there would have been a war. That would have been great television. Oh my God. President Trump would have opened up. Oh my, that would have been unbelievable. I mean, hey, listen, Mitt, you didn't put it on the line. President Trump puts it on the line, man. He's a great leader, a great president. And, and this is my take, they can say what they want, right? This, whatever you want to, I don't know if this is an impeachment inquiry. I don't know what the hell it is, right? We've had Mueller reports. We've had all these different things. They're investigating our president. Nothing, right? Now we got this thing with the Ukraine. Nothing, right? Now they're holding. They got the so-called this rat, this traitor on as a whistleblower, whatever the hell he is, in house arrest, right? For 6 weeks or so, 2 months, they've been doing stuff in house arrest. Now Pelosi has the vote, and now we're doing things right now. Yeah, right. Too little, too late, right? First of all. Second of all, why are you wasting the American people with this stuff, right? Because we believe that this is their insurance policy. Because, President Trump is ready for political war, right? President Trump he never had the ground game in 16 that he's got today. And see, people don't want to face the facts that President Trump is good. I mean, like, he's really good. You know what I mean? He's like brilliant, right? He's got the 216 ground game he never had before. And then he's got the social media, which he had in 16, but now it's on steroids. He's got algorithms. I mean, he's on point, right? He's ready to rock. Now they're trying to put this impeachment thing, right? So this is their insurance policy. So the worst case scenario is they figure they can dirty him up a little bit, try to anyway, right? So this is my take. I'm telling you. Worst case scenario. Let's say the worst case is so President Trump has to be, you can't take this stuff lightly. You can't. As bad as, as corrupt as the DNC is, they're getting away with it, right? People like Chris Wallace is allowing them to get away with it, right? They're not calling them out. The media is not calling them out. Mainstream media is not calling them out. Mainstream intelligence community is not calling them out. They're getting away with this. God bless you, Jay-Z. Thank you. So think about this. God bless you. Thank you, Jay-Z. Those were the days. We'll see what happens. 1 a.m. God bless you, Jay-Z. So think about this, right? So our great president, this is their insurance policy. Let's try to dirty him up, right? So let's say worst case scenario, because they got the numbers, right? They conjure up, because they did it in July 5th, 2016, when Comey stood in front of the American people and rewrote the federal U.S. espionage statute, invoking an element of intent that's not required by Congress for a felony violation of the U.S. espionage statute. So why wouldn't they do this again, right? And that was Andrew McCarthy, his analysis. I mean, why wouldn't they do that again, right? Truth be told, make something up, conjure something up, something fake, and then have the vote on it, right? So President Trump can't take this stuff lightly. I know he's not, right? But this is going to be won lost. I saw his rally in, I think it was, where was that rally? His last rally. It wasn't Minnesota. It was a great place. Oh, I think it was not Alabama. Mississippi, Mississippi, great rally. He's great. I love the Trump rallies, the best, right? Rallies are important because President Trump keeps his finger on the pulse. But I think President Trump also cannot overlook the inside game. Very important right now. He needs to make certain, he's doing it. I'm not saying he's not, he probably is, because President Trump is 2 or 3 steps ahead. But I think the infighting now is the key for him to stay in power. He's got to Trump in the clinches. He's got to get the clinches down with the Senate, because you can forget the House, right? I don't believe that the House Republicans are strong enough to stop the House Dems. I don't think so. I may be wrong. You know, Kevin McCarthy gives it a good try, right? Scalise, the great Scalise, right? Amazing individual. They give it a great try, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop the House Dems. So President Trump, his fail-safe, and he was smart enough to make certain that he, in the 2018 election, he saw what Paul Ryan did, and the internal turmoil inside of the House, where the Republicans had the majority. Their inside turmoil enabled the Democrats to step in. He had 44, something like that, resignations, right? So now President Trump he has the Senate. He's got the majority there. I think like 53-47, something like that. He has to get the inside game down. He probably got it down already, but he's got to, do his calling his chips, man, with McConnell, with the majority leader McConnell. He's got to do it. I mean, the inside game now is the key. Once he gets through the Senate, this is what I believe. Once he gets through the Senate and he gets it blocked, what up, Porky? What up, my brother? President Trump is going to be on steroids. It's going to be Trump 2.0. He is going to be a savage in the campaign trail. Oh my God. If they put him through an impeachment, President Trump, what up, Knights? President Trump is going to be a savage comes 2020. Absolutely. Hashtag Trump 2020 landslide. Absolutely, Porky. He gets through. He makes certain that he has the inside game down. You can't take the Senate for granted. He's got to be an animal with the Senate. We can't take the Senate for granted. We take nothing for granted here. Nothing. We don't underestimate, because they got to punch his chance. They got to punch his chance. We can't underestimate the Senate. Can't. Right, Barbara? We can't. No way. They control the House. They got something, right? And they're using that to attack and try to stymie our president, try to make our president ineffective at the very least. If they had their druthers, they'd put him in jail if they had their druthers, right? So they're trying to make him as ineffective as possible and then blame it on him. But it's to the contrary, right? What's going to happen is, absolutely, Porky. So President Trump cannot overlook, cannot take for granted that he has the Senate. I'm sure that he's not, but I'm just saying, because this is it. This is arguably the greatest, most important election in our lifetime. A second term with President Trump, and President Trump has to be an animal, a savage. There's no other way of me saying it. He has to be a savage. And with the grace of God, he gets reelected. A new broom sweeps clean. He's got to clean he's got to clean it. Get rid of it. A new broom sweeps clean. He's got to get rid of it. He's got to do what he should have done 4 years ago. It is, I know it gets hard. It's a big thing. The United States government, the presidency, a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, but this is real deal stuff. And you got people that are using intelligence ops against our own government, right? Crazy stuff. Absolutely, Barbara. So the president cannot take for granted that he has the Senate. He's got to get the inside game, because this game's going to be won and lost inside. This is an inside game now. He's got to do the rallies, keep the finger on the pulse of the people, because that's very important, right? At the same token, too, he's got to take care of the inside game. The inside game is the key. the House Dems could do a circle jerk and talk about whatever and bring in, who cares? They could bring in witnesses. You let the DOJ, you let your lawyers and the House counsel, let them counter all that stuff. President Trump's got to make certain that he has that Senate on lockdown, on absolute lockdown. That's it. Once he blocks it, then Trump 2.0 comes out. Savage. And I think it's gonna be Bernie Sanders. People think I'm nuts, but I think it's gonna be Bernie Sanders. I really do. Because why do I say that? Bernie's already done this. I think he's done it, at least I know he's done it once, maybe twice. What up there, Knights? I don't know about all that. Oh my goodness. So check it out, right? Bernie Sanders, I think, is going to be the candidate because I think in this game of politics, it's all about momentum. Absolutely. Is Mike Savage, Jackie, is Mike Savage still broadcasting? Because I heard he's not on ABC anymore. Great, one of my favorite broadcasters. But President Trump, I mean, this is it, right? This is the most important election of our lifetime because now we get the second term with President Trump. That means more judges, right? More judges. He gets to a point. And then but President Trump, new broom sweeps clean, and he has to go after them. He's got to go after all of them. He can't, in this game of politics. Oh, I see. Gotcha, Jackie. In this game of politics, presidential politics, you got to crush your enemies. It's the way it is. You can't allow people like Hillary Clinton to lay low because they're going to do what they're doing now. You got to put them on the defensive. You got to go after them. That's the only way. That's the only way you survive. Presidential politics is ruthless. Ruthless, Porky. Beyond belief. It is so ruthless, is beyond belief how ruthless it is. And it's corrupt. I hate to say it, the deep state is very corrupt, right? So President Trump, the infighting. It's all about infighting now. He's got to get in the clinches with the McConnells and get this thing on lockdown. Maybe he's done it already for the grace of God Almighty. I hope so. And he probably has, because it doesn't seem to me, oh, very cool, Jackie. It doesn't seem to me, knowing how President Trump operates, that this is something he knows how you can't take this for granted. This impeachment thing, they ain't got nothing. You can't take nothing for granted. These are not honest people, right? Let's be honest and real. And the Senate, he's got to, these are politicians. They're not honest. He has to tie it up and do what he's got to do in the behind the scenes, because this is an inside game now. This is inside. I don't care who they got on television. I could care less. As long as President Trump's got this thing on lockdown inside the Senate, the inside politics inside the Senate, so he blocks it. As long as he blocks it, now it's probably going to be Bernie. And I know President Trump thinks Bernie's a fraud, and he is. He's like America's answer to Castro, right? He's got 3 to 6. He's got 3 to 6 vacation homes. Only God knows what he's worth, right? Truth be told, right, Jackie? This is it. President Trump's got to focus on inside. I'm not saying don't go on rallies. Do your rally thing. You got to. You got to keep the pulse of the people. But don't overlook the inside game. Don't take the Senate for granted. You got to be like, forget it, a savage inside. You got to do what you got to do inside. The inside game is it. That's the win and lose inside the Senate. Because I believe the House, I hope I'm wrong, but the House, I think, is fait accompli, right? So this is their, fait accompli. They haven't done anything all they've done is attack President Trump for 3 years, since the day after he got inaugurated, right? Or the day he won, or whatever they pick. I don't know, right? And they've been weaponizing intelligence against the president. You had the Obama holdovers, Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton running their own intelligence agencies. I guess Hillary, she hasn't shut it down yet, right? She's still running that server in the basement of her house. She's running her own intelligence agency, quite frankly, probably, right? Come on, man. These are corrupt people, right? President Trump cannot overlook the inside game. He's got to keep the Senate. He's got to make certain he's got the Senate on lockdown. Got to have it on lockdown. Very important. Because that blocks anything they do. Because I think, truth be told, I think we can argue that the House is probably fait accompli, right? I don't think Kevin McCarthy and or Scalise is going to be able to stop them. They're going to do what they're going to do, what they're going to want to do, right? They're going to do something they've been wanting to do for a long time. Absolutely, Porky. Absolutely. So that's where we are. Our great president has got to lock down, which he probably has already. I'm just, I'm stating it because to me it's the most important thing, is the Senate. Inside fighting, the inside game. The inside game is what's going to win this thing. Inside. Right. Inside game. Inside the Senate. Those votes. Don't take nothing for granted. Do what you got to do to make certain the vote goes the right way. And then Trump 2.0 comes out. And then after the election, with the grace of God, he gets reelected, which I believe he will be. President Trump has got to be a savage and not stop. A new broom sweeps clean. And he's got to do it right this time. And he's got to go after the Hillary Clintons, the Bill Clintons, all of them. All of them. Because guess what? They lay in the bushes. And look what they're doing now. They're running against them again. In some way or another. Whether they're supporting candidates, whether they're involved in political action committees, they're working against the Trump administration. They can't even allow him to function as an administration. They're so concerned what he's going to do. Inside's key, Jackie, right now. Very focused. The inside politics right now is everything. What the House Dems are going to do with the public hearings, quite frankly, who cares, right? Who cares? The inside game is the key. The inside game is the key here. And I think President Trump is gonna get it done. I really do. And he probably has it done already. He's 4 or 5 steps ahead anyway. But the inside game is the key. And then once he with the grace of God, he blocks the impeachment out of the House, he's on the ballot, and then he's a savage. I mean, he's a savage anyway, but he's going to be a savage on steroids. It's going to be a Trump savage on steroids. Take no prisoners. I think Bernie's going to be your opponent, and you got to, call him out the fraud that he is. It's going to be a bloodbath, but I think Trump's going to win. Trump's going to win. He's got more than he had in 16 as far as ground game, as far as social media. It's on steroids. His social media was literally on steroids. It was big league. Right? Absolutely, Barbara. It was big league in 16. Today, it's on steroids, right? And he has a ground game. He didn't have a 16. So what's going to happen, right? He's got a lot more information he had. And see, about President Trump, people don't understand, right? He was a rookie. He was a rookie, a rookie politician, right? 3 years. He's amazing, right? So now we got all that information on the debate stage. Oh my God, on the debate stage, President Trump is a whip mentally in a debate, and he was a rookie at the debate. He did very well. He raised $19 million in 1 month. Wow, Sandra, amazing. I mean, he's got a machine right now. People don't want to, talk about it because they're worried. I think he raised like 19 million, like a lot, 125 million in like a couple of months. I mean, it's just amazing what he's done, right? He's got all this going. All he's got to do now is inside game. Stop. Make sure. Don't take the Senate for granted. I know it's controlled by the Republicans right now. No Republican has, so far from the House, no Republican has on the vote has went with the Democrats. So that's a good sign. But I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't trust these politicians. I don't care, Republican or Democrat, right? President Trump cannot take for granted the inside of the Senate. He's got to nail down the inside game in the Senate, and then he gets that blocked, and then it's going to be a Trump 2.0 campaign for the re-election. Absolutely, Porky. Absolutely. So it's going to be Trump 2.0. He's going to be a savage. Because you know why? The disrespect, and now they're putting him through an impeachment, so-called impeachment inquiry on a fake, what? A fake dossier, a fake Mueller report. What is this now? A fake phone call, right? I mean, this is a joke, right? I'm listening to Chris Wallace, and he's basically, in a stealthy way, fronting for the DNC and the Rhino Republicans. Very true, Jackie. But understand something, right? You're right. But the fight, he can't do it alone. So that's what, what happened. That's why President Trump. You're probably right, Jackie. I think he raised off of the impeachment talk and the impeachment vote, or whatever the hell that was that Pelosi did. He probably raised a lot of money, President Trump, and for the grace of God. But we cannot underestimate what they're doing. That's what I'm saying. We can't say, "Oh, we got this." Is what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's going to be a landslide. I believe it will be, but we can't stop fighting. Is what I'm saying. We can't take anything for granted. We got to make sure that we get our people to vote, get out there. We can't take this thing for granted. November 3rd, 2020. This cannot be taken for granted. They got a puncher's chance. They control They are, right, Sandra? And they got a puncher's chance. They do control the House. They control a legislative body, the House. So you can't underestimate what they're capable of doing, because they're crooks, they're criminals, they're liars, they're cheaters. They rewrite federal statutes. They cherry pick laws. Obviously, Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton got a different set of laws are applied to Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and William Jefferson Clinton as opposed to Donald John Trump. Different set of laws. They cherry pick, right? And James Comey actually rewrote the U.S. espionage statute, invoked an element of intent not required by Congress for a felony violation of the U.S. espionage statute. So they're capable of anything and everything. That's why President Trump's failsafe is the Senate, and he's got to make certain that he's got that on lockdown. So do your rallies, do your thing, Mr. President, but make certain, please. I know you're doing it, but I just want to, the inside game is going to win, is going to keep this thing going. We can't take anything for granted. We can't say, oh, it's a landslide. It's going to be a landslide. No. We're going to get out there. We got to vote. We got to bring more friends than we did in 2016. Make sure they vote. We can't take nothing for granted. Nothing in this election. This is what President Trump on this ballot. This is everybody says this is the most important election in our lifetime. This one is, because now it's 2 terms of Trump. So it's going to be a double whammy on the DNC. This could conceivably, we could put the progressive socialists, set them back a good decade at least with this election. A good decade at least. We could. I mean, they're fighting for survival right now because they know they don't want 2016 to happen again. This is what this is all about, right? Well, more than that, right? Because I believe the big cover-up. I believe the cover-up. Like I said earlier, this is the cover-up. See, like I believe Obama knows this guy, Abu Yahya Levy. Obama knows this guy. This is a cover-up. I believe, like we said before, right? Right. This is it. Look, Claire Lopez, right? Material support to terrorism, the case of Libya, right? The Benghazi thing, right? The ousting of Gaddafi, the 20,000 man pause. This stuff. This is the stuff they're covering up, right? Oh, Lisa Page, Monica Witt, the U.S., the Iranian spy inside the FBI. These are the things they're covering up, not the quid pro quo for Biden. They could care less about that. Look at Hillary Clinton. Who's got the biggest quid pro quo war chest than the Clinton Foundation, right? Wow. Very cool, Sandra. So, like the quid, who's got the monopoly on who's got a better quid pro quo operation than the Clinton Foundation, right? And Hillary Clinton's considering, while President Trump is facing an impeachment inquiry, right, Porky? While President Trump is facing a impeachment, whatever the hell's going on over in the House, Hillary Clinton is in Chappaqua in the basement of a house running her own intelligence agency and figuring out whether she's going to run for president or not. You believe this? It drives me crazy. It drives me insane when I think about it. President Trump is facing impeachment charges, conceivably, which I think, in all likelihood or probability, we cannot, look at this lightly. It's lies, cheats, innuendo, no facts, right? We know that. These are criminals. They're trying to frame our president like they did with the Mueller report. We can't sleep on this stuff. We can't take nothing for granted, right, Sandra? But think about it. President Trump is fighting all this stuff. She sits in a basement. She runs her own intelligence agency. She's got a server in a basement. She probably still has it. And she's able to consider whether she's going to run or not. Unbelievable. Beyond belief. And Joe Biden running, it's beyond belief. Oh my God, Porky's beyond Porky. They materially supported Al Qaeda in Libya. That's what they did. You could call it Ansar al-Sharia, Libyan Islamic Fighting Group. You can call it the February Brigades in Benghazi. You can call it the Free Omar Abdel Rahman Brigade. Whatever you want to call it, it's Al Qaeda in Libya. They supported them. Al Qaeda foreign fighters that go back to the Afghan Taliban versus the Soviet Union. They armed them. 10 years removed from September 11, 2001. As far as I'm concerned, thank you, Felix. Thank you for the retweets. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for the retweets. As far as I'm concerned, right, Porky? They're traitors, treasonous, right? There's reasons why President Trump didn't tell Pelosi. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for the retweets. Didn't tell Pelosi. Didn't tell Schumer. Didn't tell Schiff about the whacking of Baghdadi. And President Trump is and Kellyanne Conway said leaked. They're leakers. What President Trump is implying is that they're traitors. That they would tell, basically by leaking, they're telling ISIS what they're doing. How do you do that with a straight face, stand in front of the American people, telling everybody you're representing the people and worried about our interests, when Baghdadi is killing Americans, both home and abroad? We don't know, whether it's at his hand or indirectly, overtly, covertly killing Americans, jeopardizing our freedoms home. Absolutely, Porky. Our freedoms home and abroad, right? We want them to fight over there. We don't want them to come over here. Let them fight over there in Baghdad and in Mosul and in Syria. Let them go fight over there. I don't care. Afghanistan, just don't come here, right? So President Trump, what up, Dust? President Trump is saying, I can't tell them because they're gonna crazy, right, Sandra? Crazy. They're gonna tell ISIS. So they would jeopardize the men and women of the United States Armed Forces that are performing this special op. They would jeopardize that, as well as, so either Baghdadi would have escaped and not be there, or we would have been ambushed if President Trump would have told one of them. He was concerned about that. Traitors. And Chris Wallace would never ask those questions because President Trump is implying that they're traitors, that he can't tell them. So here's the president. How are you impeaching a president that's killing murderers, radical Islamists that are killing Americans, both home and abroad? How do you impeach a guy like that? When Obama was arming them, Obama was giving them 150 billion, the Islamic Republic of Iran, 1.7 billion in cash to Iran. Iran's killing Americans. He gave 20,000 man pads from the Gaddafi hoarding in Algeria. Most of them were in Algeria, Libya, about 80 to what? It's 360, 280 degrees south from Tripoli, from the middle, about that, from Tripoli. That's where I think the military command is, in Tripoli, Libya, right? So from Tripoli into Algiers was where all of the Soviet manpads were. 20,000 Gaddafi was hoarding. They whacked Gaddafi, and Muslim Brotherhood operatives, Mustafa Jalal and Abdelkim Belhaj, Libya's and Al Qaeda in Libya just took it over. And it became a second civil war over there. Thank you, Obama. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. Second civil war. And they got slavery over there. Thank you, Obama. Thank you, Hillary Clinton in Libya. Right? And then plus, the Obama Clinton crime family sent 400 FIM-92s, that's U.S. Stingers, to Mustafa Jalal and Abdelhakim Belhaj. They were running these weapons all over the North African, Middle Eastern region. Iran got some. Off the hook. So they're arming radical Islamists. President Trump is killing radical Islamists. It's crazy, Sandra. Crazy. It's crazy, Porky. When you think about it, it is insane what's going on over here. President Trump, he can't tell Pelosi, one of them. He can't say, listen, Nancy, he can't tell them. He was afraid that she would leak it. And by leaking it, she's telling ISIS what's happening. That's like Obama used to do that. We're bombing the Liberation Square at Benghazi next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Don't be around when the bombs come down. So we didn't kill anybody, but the media covers it and said, oh, Obama's being tough on the radical Islamists. He's dropping bombs on them. Meanwhile, he told everybody when it's going to happen. They're not there, and it just shows the bombs blowing. I mean, or they use this other thing they did. They did these drone strikes, right? What a ruse that is. Because the drone strikes are like a ruse, because it really doesn't get to the core of the global jihadi movement. It basically it's like a vacuum, right? They whack one guy and the guy goes back in, somebody else goes back. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And Obama used that. We did 3,000. We drone hit 3,000. They said something like that. So how could you say he's soft on radical Islamists? That's their stealth jihad, because if he didn't do that, if there was no drone strikes, people would be wondering who the hell. I mean, I wonder anyway. But people need to have it needs to hit them in the. I mean, who is Barack Hussein Obama? I have no idea. I don't believe Hawaii. You all could. I don't. But it's beyond belief, right? Beyond belief. So a great president has to lock it down in the Senate. And wow, what he's going to do, he gets through this thing because you know what it is? It's the lack of respect that they don't. I mean, they have no respect for him. I mean, it's really sad. It really is the way they treat our president. I don't know if it's Kenya, Barbara. I think Obama is Indonesia. That's what I'm beginning to believe. I don't know. And if you really want to talk about Kenya, you could talk about his brother, Malik Obama, who's got a diplomatic visa, and he was very, very, very close to Gaddafi. That he was actually campaigning to his brother, supposedly his half brother. I don't know how they related, the Obamas. I have no idea. I don't believe it. I think basically Obama was a creation of the. Obama is the poster boy of the Morell Panetta Brennan wing of the CIA and the Comey Morell wing of the FBI. Just look what Mueller did. Mueller, not only did he release Anwar al-Awlaki, America's Osama bin Laden, Barbara, right? He also he released him in 2002. They had him because he was a 9/11 imam. They let him go because he was an FBI asset. And he probably was going to talk, so they let him go, right? They sent him to the Saudi embassy, and he was gone. He's Al Qaeda, born in America, right? 50+ homegrown terrorists have ties to Anwar al-Awlaki inside of America. Al Qaeda in America, right? So now, Al Qaeda, if anybody doesn't know, Al Qaeda is, according to mainstream intelligence. Oh, absolutely, the Clintons are, but they had the most on Obama, right? The Clintons are definitely moles for the corrupt wing of the FBI and the corrupt wing of the CIA. Absolutely. Just look at the Ross Perot. Ross Perot had inside his campaign, he had an FBI informant. Ross Perot did. So Ross Perot was the insurance policy to make certain that HW never got reelected. They wanted Clinton there. Absolutely, Barbara. They wanted Clinton there because he's so compromised. He was a intelligence community dream. And Obama is like, forget about it. Obama's no Christian. I don't believe Christian, right? We know he was in Indonesia, so that's it, right? That's where he did a lot of his studies. Was in Indonesia, right? Stuffed jihad radicalism is Barack Hussein Obama, right? Very bad. Hillary Clinton, very bad. John Brennan, very bad. I believe Brennan is a stuffed jihad radicalismist. I believe that Hillary Clinton is an American Muslim convert, and so is John Brennan. You got to hear John Brennan's Arabic. He's the white bomber. Unbelievable. John Brennan's Arabic is unbelievable. You got to hear how he talks about Islam. Unbelievable, Barbara. He's no Christian bomber. What a liar. What a fraud. Right? So, whatever he did, he empowered the Islamists, but he got money. See, bomb is driven by money, right? And he don't care how he gets it. If he kills, he's got to arm up Iran, which he had no problem doing because he sympathized. At the very least, Obama, he's a stuffed jihad radicalism, is sympathized at the very least. But I think he's, he knew Abu Yahya al-Libi. He knew this guy from the UK. He was the MI5, MI6 informant with the UK. Oh my God, that Congresswoman, her and Congresswoman Tlaib represent CARE. CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, is the DNC. Truth be told, they're swearing in under the Quran. Look what the Washington Post said about Baghdadi. That tells you a lot. Wow. Called him a religious scholar. You might as well call, I said this on my last show, you might as well call Omar Abdel Rahman a religious scholar. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you for the retweets. You might as well call, thank you for the retweets, Sonia. You might as well call Omar Abdel Rahman a religious scholar. He had a PhD in Quranic studies. And he said he did nothing wrong. Call him a Muslim, call him a terrorist. He did nothing wrong. He said it's in the Quran. And he was the 1993 World Trade Center bomber Iman. Anwar al-Awlaki got away with murder, And then Moeller, after he released Anwar al-Awlaki, he goes through, I think in 2016, goes before an oversight committee claiming that Muslim Brotherhood is an FTO, a foreign terrorist organization. Then the next year, I think I think it was either 2011. I think in 2012, February, he brings in 58 Muslim, well, I don't know if all the Muslim Brotherhood operatives, but a lot of them were. I know at least 5 or 4 from the Holy Land Foundation trial. So at the very least, he had CARE was represented. He had Muslim American Society was represented. He had the Islamic Society of North America and the Islamic Circle of North America were there. They are unindicted co-conspirators in the biggest money laundering scheme for terrorist nation's history, the Holy Land Foundation trial. They met after Mueller went before the oversight committee claiming that MB, Muslim Brotherhood, it's in the Quran, right? Right, Porky? It's in the Quran. It's in the Quran. Met with so Mueller met with the oversight committees claiming that Muslim Brotherhood is a foreign terrorist organization. It's crazy, Porky. Absolutely, Macy. And then the next year he's meeting with the unindicted co-conspirators of the Holy Land Foundation trial, Muslim Brotherhood operatives. And they're asking him, they're issuing him execution orders. John Brennan, they issued, and Bob Mueller to purge FBI documents, FBI presentations, and DHS servers of individuals with ties to designated foreign terrorist organizations like Muslim Brotherhood, like Al-Qaeda. He's off the hook. And Bob Mueller, with a straight face, is, I just don't understand it. President Trump, who is the president of the United States of America, couldn't tell, not one from the leadership of the Democratic Party, about the special op hit on Baghdadi, afraid that they're going to tell ISIS that they're coming for them. So either they ambush us and we get men and women of the United States Armed Forces killed, or the operation isn't successful, and Baghdadi's allowed to live another day to kill Americans. So either way, they're working against the interests of the American people, both home and abroad. And it's unbelievable to me that people like Chris Wallace, who feels very good sitting there challenging Kellyanne Conway, can't call out, or anybody. And I love Fox. I'm a Fox News follower. I watch them every day. And I love Sean Hannity, Laura Ingraham. You got some great broadcasters there. But come on, Bill O'Reilly was my favorite. You can't. They don't call out these stuffed jihad radicalism Islamists, right? The president of the United States was afraid to tell Pelosi, Schiff, or Schumer about this operation. Afraid that they would rat. They would rat out the United States government. They would rat us out because we're trying to kill the enemy. That they were so upset, mainstream media on CNN, MSNBC, that President Trump was making derogatory terms about Baghdadi, calling him a dog and all this stuff. I tell you, he's a murderer. He's a killer. He's killed Americans. He's killed the men of the United States Armed Forces. He is what President Trump is calling him what he is. He's a rat. He's a dog. He's a murderer. What they do to women. Come on, man. Oh, here we go now. O'Reilly, you were there? There, Bobcat. Dragon, you were there? You were there, Dragon? How do you know you were there? You were there, Dragon? You were there? You were there at the trial? You saw the court papers? Unbelievable. He admitted. Okay, he admitted it. Right. Okay, good. Right. Sure. He admitted it in court. Okay, you were there. Okay, good. So I guess you got the court papers. Good for you. I don't know anything about that stuff, quite frankly. All I know is he was a great broadcaster. Under oath. Okay, good. Okay. He dragged his. All right, good. I guess you know. I don't know anything about that. Good for you. Good for you. You must be a stealth jihad. You must be a stealth jihad radicalismist from the DNC. That's where you must be from, quite frankly. They'll melt, right, Porky? I love when these cats come in. They come in no name. They are whatever, right? You don't know who these people are, and they're attacking the president, whatever. And you could have, something. I really don't care. You don't have to like President Trump, but you're not going to disrespect him. Absolutely, Barbara. Baghdadi, for whatever he was, right, Porky? He was fronting. He was fronting for somebody, Baghdadi, that's for sure. There. Okay, that's your name. Dragon Cats. Okay, good. Your name is there. All right, very good. Who'd you vote for, Dragon Cats? Either Dragon Cats is a Clinton supporter or he's a Mitt Romney supporter. Oh, I got to vote my conscience. I love that. I got to vote my conscience. Oh, Hillary Clinton or President Trump. I don't know. I can't tell you. I love some of these conservatives. Oh my God, I can't tell you. I got to vote my conscience. I can't tell you. Oh. Meanwhile, the country, the socialists, they want to take it over. They want a VAT tax. They want to tax us like forget it. They want to tax anything. They're going to anything that moves or breathes, the air in the air. They're going to get out. They're going to get out the. They're going to get out. They're going to try to get some of the molecules and set the air and tax the molecules in the air. They're already doing the right, Macy and Porky. They're already doing the right. There's so more, right? Oh, see, okay, see. So Cats is coming out. Bobcats rode the short train to school, right? Here he is. He's trolling us. It's okay, as long as he doesn't get disrespectful. He voted for Hillary Clinton. You believe it? Anybody that comes into the room with a straight face, right? He voted for Hillary Clinton. You believe it? The biggest criminal. She's the biggest criminal on the planet. Just Hillary Clinton. She's the biggest political criminal. I think she outdoes her husband. I don't know who's bigger, her or her husband. but she might have outdone her husband after this last election. Off the hook. Off the hook. After this last election, 2016, where the whole thing was fixed, and that's why they got so upset, because they had it fixed against Trump, our great president, and he beat them. Right, Jason? Right. Nobody wants to talk about it, right? Epstein, right? Nobody wants to talk about Epstein, right? They whacked him. I guess they got away with that one too. The Clintons and Obamas, right? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Porky, the best. Our president is the best, the greatest, one of the best of all. He's in there with Reagan, Lincoln, Jefferson, and GW, George Washington. It's amazing, Macy, that she's able to, it's amazing that she's able to sit back and think about whether she's going to run or not. She's the biggest criminal. She was running an intel agency inside a house. John Deutsch. See, Bob comes in here. Look at this. Porky, John Deutsch, the former CIA director under Clinton, he had 3151 docs. Porky, 3151 docs in the server in his house. In the server of his house. On a computer in his house, right? George Tenet took away his security clearance, and Bill Clinton was afraid he was going to rat, so he pardoned him. Yeah, as he gave away the nuclear designs to our most advanced nuclear warhead at the time, the W-88, to China. Oh yeah, I got a summit in China. I got to make my inroads with China. Yeah, you got to make money. The Clintons want to make money. Get that money in the Clinton Foundation coffers. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I got this guy trolling in here, this Bob Dragon Cats. As long as he doesn't get disrespectful, right? They sell our uranium. They sell our uranium to Russia, and Russia uses that uranium to build nuclear reactors inside of Iran. So Iran could blow up Israel and America under the guise of, I gotta bring energy. I gotta bring energy to the Iranian people. There's Hassan Rouhani. I gotta bring energy to the Iranian people. Yeah, right. He wants to blow up Israel and America. Absolutely, Sandra. You know that 0.001, like Pocahontas, 0.001 Native American chance she's a Native American. It's unbelievable, right? 0.001 chance. 0.001 chance that Pocahontas is Native American. Right, Porky? Right? When I hear 0.001, I think of uranium-235. You put that to nuclear fission, 1 kilogram of uranium-235 produces 9 times 10 to the 13 joules of heat energy. So the Iranians want to blow up a 0.0. So it's a zero, Porky, it's a 0.001 chance. 0.001 chance. So Iran wants to blow up a continent, a hemisphere. Iran's, they got 150, something like that, to 350 tons of uranium, according to Associated Press. When Obama was president, and he gave him that fake Iranian nuke deal, he was a stealth jihad radicalismist, he was. Oh my God. Only God knows the money that he got on that Iranian deal. 2 points of the 150 billion is $3 billion. He has a bank account with his brother and Omar Bashir in the Al Shalom Islamic Bank. Oh my God. Shepard Smith, what a rat. Juan Williams, another rat. Oh my God. These people, I can't believe these people actually can look. How about Donna Brazil? Well, oh my God. I don't know how these people looked at themselves in the mirror with a straight face, That's like Beto. Oh my God. Kamala Harris, another. Are you serious? Like, seriously. Seriously. Michelle Obama. What did she do? What did Michelle Obama do? That she's writing these books, and I mean, come on, man. These are traitors to the country. These are traitors to the country. The Obama Clinton crime family were treated as traitors to the country. Obama is the most They say they claim Obama is one of the most admired. I mean, and Michelle Obama. These people are traitors to the country. They're traitors. World War II, they'll be facing the firing squad. What up, check it? This is true, right? Donna Brazile admitted in a book. Donna Brazile admitted in a book, right? That she fixed the election. She wrote that book so she wouldn't get implicated. But she fixed that 16 against Bernie. That's why I tell you, I think Bernie's getting it. Why? I think Bernie's getting the Democratic nomination. I do. Because, you know, like politics is all about momentum, you know. So Bernie starts off with people, you know. He ran already once. He's got already people. He's got people. He's got people that follow him a lot that have that. So he's going to start with something, and it's all about momentum. Elizabeth Warren, thank you, Wagafire. Thank you for the retweets. I mean, yeah, thank you, Wagafire. I don't know if only God knows what happened there. What up, Imagine? Sounds good to me, my brother. I tell you, what happened with that Zeth Rich, only God knows, Sandra. Really. It's really sick. I guess that means, yeah. I guess he's, you know, I guess Obama's not corrupt. After all, he gave 100. After he gave 150, Obama gave 150 billion back to Iran. 1.7 billion in cash. He money laundered it from euros, from United States dollars. Put Iran into the monetary system, which is against the federal statutes, and money laundered the 1.7 billion to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, who President Trump sanctioned. First time in history sanctioning a government entity, did President Trump. And in addition, Obama armed al-Qaeda foreign fighters. They go back to the Afghan Taliban versus the Soviet Union, 10 years removed from September 11, 2001, with man pads, 20,000 man pads and 400 FIM-92s. Absolutely, Jay-Z. This guy, Bob, you know, he's a Clintonista. Trump money laundered money to the Deutsche Bank. I don't, you know something, quite frankly, he's only in public service for 3 years. I don't really care what he's done. Honestly, I could care less. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing and stops the Clintons and stops the bombers and stops these criminals from taking over the White House, I don't really care what he does. I don't believe what they're saying about him, and I really don't care. I think he's a great president. I think he's only in public service 3 years. Check it, man. It says what it says, right? You know, truth be told, you look at that sign, you know what? You know Russo supports. Absolutely, Imagine the best. The best. President Trump is the best. Absolutely, Jay-Z. These are just people that, you know, that hate President Trump. Bob admitted that he was crying on the day of. Bob admitted on November 8th, 2016, he was a snowflake. He was one of those guys on television crying. He was crying. Bob was literally crying. Literally, Bob. Right, Porky? He was crying. What a snowflake. Right? I hear you, Imagine. Absolutely, Sandra. Right, Porky? Bob was crying like a, oh my God, was he crying? He's that bad, huh? You want me to block him? Hey, Bob, leave the other people alone. If you want to send this, I got no problem. I'm giving you a warning. Okay, Bob. You don't have to agree with President Trump. This is fine. You could say what you want. Just don't curse. And if the people don't want you to message them, don't message them. You know something? Torres, block him. As long as he doesn't curse and get disrespectful to the president, I'll leave him in the room. Well, let's say, imagine. Let's say, in all likelihood or probability, I think you know the die is cast, right? I think they're going to impeach him out of the House. Probably they got the numbers. I think they do. You know, I think they got the numbers. I do. Right? I don't think Kevin McCarthy or Scalise is going to be able to stop him. You know. There you go, Macy. I don't think they're going to try to. I don't think they're going to be able to stop him. So I think what's going to happen is President Trump has to. Right, imagine. Right. So I think President Trump is going to have to. 8 years fly by. I'm telling you, boy, that'd be great. That'd be unbelievable. It's going to be. It's going to be a because this is the basically the DNC is looking at if President everything works out and President Trump nails down and does the inside game with the Senate, he gets it blocked. I think President Trump is going to be it's going to be Trump 2.0. What up, MJ? Did you see our president? MJ says from YouTube Live. MJ says he's in Florida, so he's hanging out with the president in Florida, he said. Hey, man, could you imagine President Trump moving to Florida? It gets him another 100,000 votes for Florida. That'd be amazing. Could you imagine if President Trump gets, like he moved to Florida, right? So could you imagine if he gets another, like he gets 50,000 to 60,000 votes because he moved to Florida? Melania is a very classy, beautiful woman. Unbelievable. Tremendous first lady. I'm so proud of the and you got to you got to give the Trump family credit. They from his sons, his daughter, they've sacrificed a lot for this country. You got to give them credit, They've sacrificed a lot. The Trumps to stop the criminals from getting into the White House, the Trumps have sacrificed great children. Absolutely, Jay-Z. You got to give them credit. You got to give them credit. You got to give them credit. You got to. Barron. How old is Barron? Is he 16? He's about 6'3" at 12 years old, wasn't he? Oh, my goodness. He was almost as tall as his father. I hope so. You're right, Porky. Daytona Beach. I hope so. 16? You're right. Imagine, I agree with you. You're probably right. Oh, he's in Mar-a-Lago. MJ's in Mar-a-Lago with the president. I hope so. If he's got Florida, that's nice. Wow. They don't want. That's why they're doing this impeachment thing, because they don't want to have another election with President Trump. Oh my God. Ooh, he's an animal. 1 o'clock. I never forgot that. I was up at ABC. President Trump is going to. That's what I'm talking about, Porky. President Trump is going to Michigan, 1 o'clock in the morning. Animal. That won him the election. That's what I'm talking about, Macy. President Trump, that's what won him the election. I'm telling you. That's what won him the election. 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. I mean, the fake. So who cares, right? We did, Jay-Z. We did predict it. We predicted Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Ohio. We had Minnesota. He would have won Minnesota too. Exactly, imagine. Exactly. And the funniest thing is the argument from the left. Oh, Joe Biden is a political foe. So President Trump is talking to Ukraine to investigate a political foe. So here's the question, Chris Wallace. If Joe Biden wasn't running for president and President Trump mentioned Joe Biden's name to the Ukraine president, would he be considered a political foe? No. So that's why this whole thing is a ruse. First of all, Joe Biden is not going to get the nomination. And Joe Biden's running to get ahead of his scandal. So his son doesn't go to jail. And he doesn't go to jail. That's all. It's all a ruse. Unbelievable. Yeah. And who cares? Quid pro quo? Look at Hillary Clinton, the biggest quid pro quoers. Is that a word? On the planet, or the Clinton Foundation and the Barack Hussein. Only God knows. The truth be told, right? People don't even say that because the Clintons are so bad. Barack Hussein Obama's war chest. He had a website in China raising money with all over the world. Only God knows. The Khomeini probably made a donation into that Obama Clinton crime family war chest for the 2008 and the 2012 presidential campaign. And he's got a, so he took that money and put it into the foundation. Only God knows the contributors like the Khomeinis and Omar Bashir's got $9 billion in UK. Come to think of it, Al Bashir was cool recently, right? He's got $9 billion in UK banks. He probably gave a couple of million to the Obama Clinton crime family, to bomb his foundation. And you'll never know. You'll never know, Porky. You'll never know. Sleazebags, right? It's crazy. Omar Bashir's got $9 billion in UK banks. Obama took the sanctions away before he left. He said Al Bashir is great. He's changed. We're going to give him. He could come. He could do business with us. He could come back. He could come back to America. He could come to America. Yeah, right. Porky's off the hook. Well, after he gets through this impeachment thing with the grace of God, the Senate, he blocks. The Senate blocks. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Unbelievable. And this guy, Dragon, comes into the room with a straight face. That's my name, he says. Bob Dragoncats. That's his name. Who knows? He could be a 10-year-old kid, a 12-year-old kid. Who could be Hillary Clinton for all we know. Could you imagine if that's Hillary Clinton? Oh my God, I would die. Could you imagine? Imagine if Bob Dragoncats is Hillary Clinton or Huma Abedin. Imagine if that's Huma Abedin. I would die. Huma Abedin. She's not ugly, you know. That's Hillary's peace. That's Hillary's peace. I hear you, Sandra. Well, thank you, Wagonfire. Thank you for the invites. I think Bernie's getting it, Porky. I don't trust Horowitz. I hope you're right. Hope he surprises me. Oh, that's your last name? Okay, Bob, I know you're so transparent. He's probably not a man, right? Who the hell? Probably some, I'm a dude, I'm a chick tomorrow, I'm a dude the next day, 31 genders over here. 31 genders. I'm over here. Today I'm a chick, tomorrow I'm a dude. 31 genders. I don't know what I am today. Lord have mercy, man. Lord have mercy on my soul for the grace of God Almighty. Do your thing. Alternative lifestyle, do your thing. Whatever, do your thing. Just keep it over there. That's all. You got just as much rights as me. You're human beings. Do your right. LBGQ, PRS-TV. I mean, do your thing, right? Regressive. Do your thing. Lay with the sheep. Stick it in a socket. It's crazy, Porky, right? Stick it in a socket. Go do your thing. You have just as much rights as me. Go live your life. Go get married. Go lay with the sheep. I could care less. These people just have too much time on their hands, right, Porky? There's a snowflake. The snowflake's in the house. Go do your thing. Oh yeah, he boxes. Will you box? How about it? Box. Bob Dragoncats. I have a big. Oh, okay. It's probably Hillary Clinton. Bob Dragoncats is probably Hillary Clinton. Or maybe it's Omar, right? Congresswoman Omar. Something happened, right? Something happened. 2001, something happened. We lost 5,000 Americans. Yes, something happened, honey. Something happened. Something happened. Yeah, we lost 5,000 Americans innocently. Disgraceful. What time is it? It's already one. I'm already. Oh, you're in full. MJ said he went from Mar-a-Lago. 15 sorties did it. Oh yeah, yeah. That's another. Let's see. 15 sorties did it. So let's see. Let's go through it. Anwar al-Awlaki, not a sortie. Muhammad Atta, not a sortie. Omar Abdul Rahman, not a Saudi. Who else? Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, not a Saudi. Who else? Osama bin Laden, not a Saudi. Well, he's a Saudi. He's a Muslim Brotherhood Saudi. I take that back. Hassan Tarabi, Omar Bashir, not a Saudi. Abu Yahya al-Libi, Mustafa Jalal, Abdullah Hakim Balhaz, not Saudis. You know. Yeah. Yeah, ignores it. Yeah, yeah. How do you know, Bob? How do you know the Saudi prince murdered the Khashoggi, whatever his name is? Yeah, tell Bob it's in the Porky. Tell Bob it's in the Quran. The blind sheik know that he knew the Quran wrote. He knew the Quran wrote. The guy, I think, he was born blind with diabetes from Al Azhar University. Got a PhD in Quranic studies. Knew the Quran wrote. He said he did nothing wrong. Call him a Muslim, call him a whatever. He goes, it's in the Quran. And then you got Andrew McCarthy. He wrote an article in '98 for the Weekly Standard, and he had some excerpts from. He had all his data was unbelievable about he's the blind sheik prosecutor, and he had what they do is the imams take text from the Quran and use it to radicalize the terrorists. It's crazy. It's really sick. It's a sick thing, man. What's going on with this Islam? It's sick. I'm not going to sit and say that all people of Islam are terrorists. But let me tell you, the problem with Islam is the difference. How do you distinguish between a peaceful Islamist, a peaceful Muslim, and a radical and a stealth jihad? Radicalism is sympathizing. They maybe don't pull the trigger, but materially supports them. Like the San Bernardino, we talk about San Bernardino. Saeed Farouk, Tashfeen Malik, Marquez, Enrique Marquez materially supported them, the brother, or the brother-in-law, right? Sister knew about it, father knew about it, mother knew about it, grandmother even. The grandmother knew about it. There was a dude that saw the pipe bombs in the streets in Bernardino in California before the hit came, and said he was afraid they were going to call him a racist, so he didn't call the police. 10 days later, something like that, the event happens and Americans get killed. Right? Something. So it's a month. It's 1:37. It's 1 hour and 37 minutes. So MJ says he just left Mar-a-Lago with President Trump, and now he's in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, so now okay. So Osteen. Oh wow. So Baltimore beat New England, huh? So they're not undefeated, huh? Wow. Is that a final, Porky? So that dude, that quarterback, what's his name? Wow, he really crazy game, right? That quarterback really what's his name? I forgot his name. What's that quarterback's name from Ravens? Tough kid. He's really developing. Oh, it's not over yet. Oh, really? I thought Iran did that. Bobcats. Didn't Iran kill a couple of million in the 80s? The Iran-Iraq war? Yeah, Bobcats. Yeah. The Iran-Iraq war. There were about millions of people were killed in the Iran-Iraq war. I guess you're going to blame America for that one too. Right? Wagon fire. Right. Jackson. Right. What's his first name? The quarterback for the Ravens. Not much of a passer. He moved really well. Lamar Jackson. Right. And he was a low-end first-round pick. Moves very well. I think he went to Louisville, right? Louisville. Lamar Jackson went to Louisville, I think. I think it was Louisville, right? Louisville, right? I think so. Well, But we did turn it around in Iraq, right? It wasn't a good thing to take out. It wasn't a good thing to take out Saddam Hussein. It wasn't a good thing to take out Gaddafi, right? Because that's what started Al Qaeda in Iraq with Musabu Abu al-Zawahiri, the first leader of Al Qaeda in Iraq. Then they went to Syria, ISIS. That's all ruse anyway, because I believe the ISIS is controlled by the Iranian Global Terror Network. ISIS-Iran nexus controls ISIS. That's what I believe. Yeah, she whacked Gaddafi, right? The great policy of the Obama-Clinton crime family. And President Trump is facing impeachment inquiry. Crazy. It's crazy stuff, man. So listen, it's about 1:30, 1:40. It's getting late. I'm almost 2 hours on the air. Was it about almost 11 o'clock, right? What time is it? It's got to be like, what, 11? It's got to be almost 11, 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's got to be 10:30, 11, something like that, right? So I think it's time. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see it's 10:45. So I want to, do some things before I thank you all. I think I'm going to get out of here. I'm almost on here, almost 2 hours. So I'm glad I came on early. So at least tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, but probably Tuesday at the latest, I'll be back on. Minus 5 hours. Okay, Mace. Oh yeah, it was Cheney. Now we're going into Cheney. Have a blessed one, Porky. Yo, God bless everyone in the room. Thank you for the visit. Thank you, Jay-Z. Good seeing you, Porky, Sandra. Who else? Wagon Fire, Smarty, Imagine, Porky, Bob is Obama. That'd be hysterical. Wouldn't that be hysterical? Obama's trolling the Trump room, the Russo Trump room. Right, Car Keys? Obama's trolling us. Could you imagine Obama, they go, Obama and Hillary. Hillary straps it on, Right, Mace? Which can we box? So Bob Katz is Hillary Clinton. So one day he's Hillary because he's I'm this way, I'm that way. One day he's Hillary, one day he's, anything's possible, right? In social media, anything's possible. So absolutely, MJ from YouTube Live, be blessed. God bless you all. Absolutely, Car Keys. So I'm getting ready to get out of here. Sorry, my brother. I've been on for almost 2 hours. This is Frankie Russo. God bless everyone in the room. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Macy, thank you for the visit. Hey, Smarty. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Thank you for your service. Thank you for providing me with the freedom that I love to do. Absolutely, Car Keys. What I love to do is that, and that's broadcast. So God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. God bless the greatest country on the planet, America. And God bless our great president, Donald John Trump. This is Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn. I don't know, Jay-Z. They just gave my account back. They never told me. They just gave it back to me. Porky. And this Clintonista's in here. It's either Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, one of those cats. God bless you, Smarty. This is Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn, and I'll see you in the future. YouTube Live, MJ, thank you for the visit. See you no later than Tuesday. I'll see you in the future.